Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football uh, update show for Week 14. We'll go over tonight's game with the Steelers and Patriots, and let you know that uh, it is 7-3 right now. Patriots with in the first quarter, 3:49 to go, 3:13 to go. First and 10 at the Pittsburgh 45. Now the Patriots have the ball back. Zeppe's pass deep middle to Juju Smith-Schuster to the Pittsburgh 45 for 17 yards. So that's where we stand right now. We're going to go over everything about I feel about tonight's game and Trubisky getting the start. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. In 1993, who was the Patriots' choice as the first overall draft pick? I have the answer later in the podcast. It's Thursday Night Football, Week 14. We have a great AFC matchup for you tonight. The New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers battling it out at Askew Stadium right now in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Uh, the Steelers are coming off a 24-10 loss at the hands of the Arizona Cardinals last week, and that was in Arizona, in Pittsburgh. And they struggled offensively and defensively. And the Chargers are coming off a low-scoring 6-0 loss to the Patriots, and they've been struggling this offensively this season. So this is a battle of two AFC teams that have struggling offenses. Now, with Kenny Pickett expected to miss multiple weeks following his ankle injury, Mitch Trubisky is in charge of keeping the Steelers, who are 7-5, their playoff hopes alive and afloat. The backup has appeared in 3 games this season, but Thursday night tilt against New England will mark his first start of 2023. Trubisky's last start came in Week 15 of 2022 at Carolina. 24-16 Steelers win. Well, Pickett was out with a concussion. Trubisky didn't wow that day, but also didn't botch the game, completing 17 of 22 passes for 179 yards, with zero touchdown passes and 0 interceptions. Added a run for a score. Uh, the Steelers' offense found new energy following the firing of Matt Canada. However, they've still struggled to find the end zone, scoring 16 points in Week 12's win over the Cincinnati, and 10 in the faceplant versus Arizona. Facing a Patriots defense that has smothered opponents despite losing the past 5 games, Trubisky knows he must balance with an aggressive attitude. We're trying to score points, Trubisky said Thursday via the team's official website. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to take care of the football, and we got to play better as an offense. We're going against a good defense this week that is well coached, so we've got to do our job. And execute. And that is what they have to do by far. We want to be an aggressive offense. So whatever that means, taking care of football, we've got to find ways to score points. That's the bottom line. And Trubisky said just that. Since he joined Pittsburgh last season, Trubisky hasn't been shy about trying to stretch the field in his brief outings, but hasn't produced fruitful results. Trubisky has thrown deep in 13.5% of his pass attempts since 2022, 200 attempts per next gen stats. Trubisky has 25.1 passer rating on deep passes since 2022, lowest in the NFL. Minimum 25 such attempts. Trubisky on 20 plus air yard passes since 2022, minimal 25 such attempts. And on September 31st, a 29.0%, 280 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 25.1 passer rating, lowest he's generated. The next deep passes without a TD since the most deep passes without a TD since 2022. Trubisky 31, Sam Darnold 21, Bryce Young 17, Ripken 16, and Tyler Huntley 12, 14, excuse me. Uh, and Trubisky has also shown a tendency to take risks with tight windows since 2022. Trubisky has the highest tight window rate in the NFL, minimum of 200 attempts at 23.6% per next gen stats, with the lowest open rate in the league at 31%. Highest tight window percentage since 2022, minimum 200 attempts. Trubisky's 23.6%. Jordan Love, 18.9%. Dak Prescott, 18.6%. Ryan Tannehill, 17.6%. Trubisky is nearly aware that a balance must be stuck between hyper aggressive and too risk adverse. It's always a fine line, uh, said Trubisky. I think you can ask any quarterback that you want to be aggressive, but if you're too safe with the football, you're not going to move it. So you've got to know what you can do, and you've got uh, to take care of football. But sometimes you've just got to believe in yourself that you can make the throws and move the ball down the field and score points. With Thursday night's matchup featuring two struggling offenses, it'll be the one who makes the big play while avoiding the massive mistake that will come out with the W. And that is the truth by far. Uh, now, Pittsburgh, the NFL used to come near a standstill whenever the Pittsburgh Steelers and New England Patriots met. Now, not so much. Thursday night's meeting might merit a passing glance, if that. Two teams that will run onto the Ascari Stadium turf won't have the future Hall of Fame quarterbacks at the controls. They won't be fighting for home field advantage in the playoffs or a spot in the Super Bowl. The Patriots, who are 2-10 in the season, are simply looking for something, anything, to build on amid a 5-game losing streak that has a team that used to pick last in each round of the draft nearly every year at the height of the Tom Brady era to somehow perhaps pick first. The Steelers are 7-5, are better off in the standings, but can't seem to get off the treadmill of mediocrity. A chance to take a step forward and create some breathing room in the race for the AFC wildcard spot slipped away last Sunday in a sloppy and dispiriting loss to rebuilding Arizona. Several players, running back Jalen Warren and wide receiver Deontay Johnson among them, said in the aftermath, there's a chance Pittsburgh overlooked the then 2-win Cardinals based merely on their record. That cannot happen. The Steelers, that cannot happen again if the Steelers want to be considered a serious threat to play beyond the first weekend in January. and they know it. I've been around, so I just know you just can't take anybody in this league lightly, said quarterback Mitch Trubisky, who will start with Kenny Pickett out indefinitely following right ankle surgery, and he is playing tonight. Uh, I've been around too long to know that anybody can win on any given day. So we play on Thursday this week, and the best team is going to win. It hasn't taken an opponent's best to get the better of the Patriots lately. New England is already assured of its worst season since Bill Belichick's first year with the team in 2000, mostly thanks to an offense that achieved a piece of NFL infamy last week in a 6-0 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. The setback made the Patriots first team since 1938, since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals to lose 3 straight games when allowing 10 points or fewer, putting second-year quarterback Bailey Zappi into the mix, failed to provide a spark, though Zappi is likely to get the nod again against TJ Watt and company. Well, Belichick put the on us on the coaching staff to help a group that has massively underachieved. He allowed that in early December. That's not much you can do. You pretty much are what you are at this point, and in the season, in terms schematically, Belichick said it's much the same in Pittsburgh. The Steelers saw a brief flash of what its offense could be and a 421-yard outburst in a win over Cincinnati on November 26th, a game played just days after firing offensive coordinator Matt Canada. They came crashing back to earth against the Cardinals as penalties, a poorly timed turnover, and inability to sustain drives blunted whatever momentum the victory over the Bengals had generated. The loss did little damage to Pittsburgh's playoff hopes. It also did little to help them. Another setback at home against a two-win team could be disastrous. Injuries have decimated Pittsburgh's depth at linebacker. Paul Holm and Quan Alexander are already lost for the season, and Elandon Roberts is dealing with a groin issue that could force him to sit out. Enter Blake Martinez and Miles Jack, veterans who came out of retirement in November. Martinez signed with Carolina's practice squad before the Steelers brought him in before Thanksgiving. Jack, who retired in August, was helping run the minor league hockey team in Texas he owns. When the Steelers called last month, we are hopeful that that we would have more time to prepare them. Pittsburgh coach Mike Tomlin said, "But you don't always get what you want, and so we'll see what those dudes look like from a preparedness standpoint as we prepare for this one." Seppi is expected, and he is playing, to get another try as the Patriots' #1 quarterback, if only because that isn't enough time in a short week to get another passer ready. Seppi completed 13 of 25 passes for 141 yards in Sunday's loss to the Chargers and failed to deliver a single point. The Patriots punted 7 times, turned the ball over on downs twice, and ended their best drive on a fumble. And they never crossed the Los Angeles 29-yard line. Uh, Sorry about that. And Rookie Malik Cunningham was activated from the practice squad but did not get into the game. He took 6 snaps in a Week 6 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, but did not throw a pass. New England also has Will Grier, who started 2 games for Carolina in 2019 on the roster. Seppi had relived relieved, Mac Jones in 3 previous games this season. He got the most of the first team snaps in practice last week and addressed reporters from the podium on Tuesday, a privilege usually afforded the starter. The unofficial depth chart on the Patriots website, they're one of only 3 teams in the NFL that includes the qualifier list Zeppi as quarterback 1. Coach has made it pretty clear, but I'll let him announce it to everyone. He said that's private right now, and whenever he announces it, that's with him. I try to prepare every week like I am the guy, nothing different from me. Trubisky figures to bring a more aggressive attitude to Pittsburgh's offense than the risk adverse Pickett whether that translates into more points for the NFL's 28th ranked scoring offense likely depends on Trubisky's sometimes iffy decision making. The 29-year-old has thrown 7 interceptions in 229 attempts with the Steelers and allowed. He is still learning about when to let it fly and when to check it down. You want to be aggressive, but if you're too safe with the football, and as I mentioned, you're not going to move it, Pickett said. So you've got to know what you can do, and you always have to take care of football at the end of the day. But sometimes you've just got to believe in yourself that you can make the throws to move the ball down the field and score points. As I mentioned back in the story of Mitch Trubisky starting. But the Patriots have really been struggling offensively and defensively, uh, and it's 14-3 Patriots. Second quarter, 14-14 left to go till halftime, and the Patriots are about to kick off. So we shall see what happens. And right now, we'll talk more about this game in a moment. It's time to reveal the answer to today's Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football NFL Week 14 trivia question. It's a Patriots trivia question. In 1993, who was the Patriots' choice as the first overall draft pick? And if you said Drew Bledsoe, you are correct. Bledsoe is a QB out of Washington State, played from 1993 to 2001 with the Patriots. He was made starting quarterback in his rookie season. During his time with them, they saw 2 Super Bowl appearances. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Now it's time for my Thursday Night Football pick of the week. I am taking the Steelers because I don't see the Steelers getting the win at home over the Patriots. But right now, they're down 14-3 with 14-14 to go in the second quarter till halftime. And Pittsburgh's about to kick off. And so, because of there, and so they're going to have the ball. And I feel Pittsburgh really needs to step it up. They have got to make those big plays if they want to win. And New England's got to continue to hold on to that lead and be solid. They've been struggling offensively, and I do feel that they need to make a lot of big plays. And we just had a 1st and 10 to the Pittsburgh 25. Nate Harris left tackle to the Pittsburgh 20 for -5 yards. So that's where we stand right now. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football uh, update show. I'll be back with the post-game show once the game between the Patriots and Steelers has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.